Yo, it is PS2 Fatboy here. Just doing a slightly different thing as of now on YouTube. This is all unscripted stuff. I've got a good friend of mine here, Hershey Stains 815. Yes, you heard it. That lovely name. I'll just sort of touch base on a few things with Twitch. The do's and don'ts, the what and whatnots, I guess. Just a general chat about Twitch, and I thought the first person who comes to mind would be Hershey Stains. He's been doing this for quite some time. He's been involved in a lot of communities, a lot of streams. He's been doing it for quite some time, and also I feel that he's got some good knowledge on Twitch. Excuse me. So I thought I'd ask him to join me in this chat. I'm going to ask him some questions and just get his views and thoughts on Twitch in general, what he feels, or what's going on with Twitch, and some insight there, and his views. So anyway, Hershey, how long have you been on Twitch for?
Shoot. Well, before I get into that, thank you for letting me on.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
I know when I did my first podcast, you were like the first person I thought of. Like, man, got a good PS2 one. So appreciate the favor return. But to answer your question, I've been streaming altogether for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I took a break for about 2 to 3 years, but yeah, altogether about 4 or 5.
And what really got you into Twitch first? Like who got you into Twitch, or what got you into Twitch?
Well, I'd always been the type of person, like growing up in my neighborhood, at my household, we had the Sega, and then eventually down the road we had a PlayStation. In the neighborhood, people had Super Nintendo, the N64, you know, all the different games.
Yep, old school.
So we would always go around, and we just kind of like sit around and watch everybody play. And I was always infatuated with that. And so fast forward now, 5 years ago, I was playing with somebody, and they were like, "Hey, I'm streaming," and I was like, "Streaming? What the fuck is that?" And they told me about Twitch, and I went in there, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's shout out mainly to Ladies Awakening. That's the first person that I actually followed on Twitch.
Oh,
Ladies
Jesus,
Awakening.
really? That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the
good
first stream. And some of you who are gonna watch this are gonna know who that is. But in case some of you don't, she was a Call of Duty player. She's still somewhat active, but yeah, that's what I came across. And that's how I got into Twitch.
So also with Twitch, the 5 years that you've been on it, what's the differences do you see from the first time you was on Twitch to as of now on Twitch? What do you see, your personal views on what the difference is on Twitch from 5 years ago? What do you think?
Well, the first difference that comes to mind, people definitely think streaming is a lot easier now compared to when it was first starting out, which is somewhat true. It's definitely a lot easier. They have things like the affiliate program. The second thing that's the biggest change to me is just the audience. Before on Twitch, it was a really like molded in and packed in audience. It was strictly gaming. Now you have just chats, you have dancing, you have art, the whole 9 yards. So I think Twitch has definitely progressed, but I've also seen a lot of.
You've seen a lot of what? Sorry, you just sort of cut out then. It's all good.
A lot of regression.
Yeah.
Instead of progress, a lot of regression.
Yeah.
And that's.
What do you mean in regression? In what way? Regression in what way?
Like I said, with things like the affiliate program, a lot of people see it as being a little bit easier to stream now because, of course, you have an incentive, right? You can make money without being a partner.
Yeah.
And because of that, anytime that money gets involved into hobbies or passion, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times now, the biggest problem on Twitch is that people no longer see it as a gaming platform; they see it as a revenue platform.
Yeah.
Now, that's where I think.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense there. Where I think a lot of people, I think the first thing, like I agree on that, is like first thing when you say, "Oh, I'm going to go on Twitch and I'll get affiliate," and I just say, "Oh, I want to get on Twitch to meet people," because that's what I did. Like I got on Twitch, I didn't think about affiliate programs or anything like that. I just wanted to jump on stream and game with people and see who I met overseas, because that was the exciting part about streaming. I don't know about you. It's like meeting other people from other countries and finding out their culture and what games they're into and what's their daily routines and what they're doing and stuff like that. That to me was the appeal. you know, just getting involved with other people. But I agree with that. Like, I think people now just say, hey, I'm going to go on Twitch or get an affiliate, maybe possibly a partnership. You know, it's just like, yeah, I think I think you're correct on that. Also, with the 5 years that you've been watching Twitch, when you first started, have you noticed a difference on the types of people that stream on Twitch as well? Like,
yeah, like I said, I think once the money aspect kind of got into it, a lot more people started getting involved. I have noticed though, because of Twitch's dominance in the streaming platform. I mean, a lot of people use YouTube, but Twitch has kind of become synonymous with gaming now.
Yeah,
you can basically rate a game's success on the way that people stream it, especially on Twitch.
yeah,
Definitely, there's definitely a lot more professional broadcasters now on Twitch. Before, it was a lot more nuanced. It was a lot more passive. People were just kind of figuring it out and trying to see what they were doing. But now the formula is down packed. Everybody knows what the formula is, right? You know, you get a camera, you get a PC, you get the overlay, you get the emotes, and then you build a community and you network. As to where before it was kind of more, it's kind of like the honeymoon of a relationship, right? Like the first couple months are amazing. You're discovering all these new things, and it's like, yo, I got this new project I get to be a part of. But I think now Twitch is finally hitting that transition between the honeymoon era and the age of reality.
Yeah.
And the one thing I've noticed is that now there's a lot of streamers who are kind of self-aware of that bubble that's right in between, and that's where we are right now, because the bubbles, it's only going to pop soon enough, in my opinion.
I think you're right about that too. It's like, because even though Twitch is the most leading platform when it comes to streaming, I feel there's just something in the corner that's just going to pop out of nowhere and change all that. It might not be this year or next year, but in the next 5 years maybe, something is going to come up, maybe a new platform, streaming service that just changes maybe takes what Twitch does and just takes it to the next level. Because I heard rumors about Spotify doing a streaming platform. That I personally think that would be good. Actually, what are your thoughts on that? About Spotify being a streaming service?
Well, when it comes to competition, I think competition's good. At least healthy competition. Competition on a personal level, it can get kind of nasty and bitter.
Oh yeah,
and I don't usually like competition on that level, but from a corporate standpoint, Twitch definitely needs to have somebody come at them and do something different.
Yeah, I agree.
My hopes is with Spotify, everybody knows Joe Rogan, right? The Joe Rogan podcast.
I love Joe.
Exclusive. Yeah. Big shout out to Joe Rogan, because he's
Joe,
got a lot of
love
people
you, bro. He's watching it right now.
That'd be nice, right?
Oh fuck yeah!
But I think really, I'm hoping that Spotify is able to do something with a big name like that and say, okay, not only do we have to think about ways that we can get the big names on here, because big names are great and they do have an audience, but the reason that Twitch is so successful is because of all those people who are in between the unknown and the well-known. And those are the people who generate the most revenue, if we're just being completely honest. So I'm hopeful that Spotify is a company that can say, hey, there's a lot of people who are kind of in the middle. What can we do to entice them to switch from platforms? And to go further back to answer your question even more, I think really what it comes down to is Twitch is entertainment, and entertainment's always trend. It's always about trends. And you've been around long enough. I know I've been around long enough. Trends come and go. 10, 15 years ago, if you would have told us that Vine's going to be dead, and then eventually there was going to be a new thing that came out years after it being dead that was literally the same exact thing, we would have told you you're fucking dumb. But it is.
Yeah.
Because that's the reality that we live in.
Yeah. Things have a short-term lifespan. If there are things can just go nuts, I also, speaking of this, is it Brian? Remember when Brian was saying that they're going to be a streaming service, because apparently it's sort of in and out. I don't know if that's a hoax or it's legit, because I'm in their Discord right now, just because I'm just snooping. I don't think I'll change platforms. I don't know, because everyone's saying, oh, the doc's going to be on there. I feel like the doc is just way above that. as well. Like also that's another thing I was going to say to you. This whole thing with the Doctor Disrespectful being banned from Twitch without any notice or any explanation. What's your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think about that sort of stuff?
Well, for one, I know not everyone's gonna agree with me on this, but I think it's pretty well. I think people are gonna agree on some parts. I
Mm.
think it's messed up that he was removed from the platform without even given the notice.
Mm.
I know a lot of people's rebuttals to that was like, well, he know what he did. I don't give a fuck.
Mm.
The key thing is here, when we join the affiliate program or when we do partner on Twitch,
Yeah.
we sign a contract.
Yeah.
It's a contract.
Mm.
We're employed now.
Yeah.
It's no longer like, hey, we're just doing this for fun. It's a business.
Yeah.
So it's upsetting to me that somebody, especially that big, they can just say, oh, you know what? Like, instead of giving you due process and letting you understand why we're terminating you, we're just going to terminate you
Mm.
without saying anything, without making a public statement, take away all your revenue,
Mm.
and you're going to have to deal with it. To me, that's a frightening aspect because
It could happen
I'm
to anyone.
somebody I can barely, yeah, I barely even average 10 viewers, right?
Mm.
So if they're going to do that to a Doctor Disrespectful,
Mm.
what's that stopping them from doing it to someone like me?
That's
And I
my
think,
thoughts too, man. That's nuts.
yeah, and I think moments like this, it kind of exposes the community, and I say the community as Twitch in a whole, um, for who they really are and what they really care about.
Mm.
Because if it's a thing where all these streamers want to say, oh, well, we care about the big streamers and the little streamers. That's what we
Mm.
hear from a lot of people that are content creators.
Mm.
Well, if that's the case, why aren't we fucking standing up for one each other
Yeah.
instead of just kind of going into the shadows and worrying about A, either our revenue getting fucked up, or B,
Mm.
our crowd, our
Mm.
community, or fans, or
Mm.
whatever you want to call them, from them disappear.
That
Um,
yeah, I,
I think,
I I definitely agree with that. Well, also, like you said, I touched back on the thing with Doctor Disrespectful is like what really annoyed me is on how many people used his disadvantage right now as an advantage to them, saying, "Hey, I know what's happened to Doc," and then people would go into their
mm,
chats and stuff like that. They were using someone's something negative that happened to them as a positive for them. And like if you look on YouTube, especially like all these videos that are posting about like Doctor Disrespect, we know what happened, and they don't know shit. Honestly, they don't know shit. They're just trying to get more
no,
views
there's
and
no
stuff like that.
description.
Honestly, if
Mm,
honestly, the only real people who would know is probably Doctor Disrespect, and he doesn't want to say anything because that's his business. All in all, it's his business between him and Tish. But I think it's a really shitty thing what they did, like removing him without any explanation. But I do see a lot of his fan base being a bit pissed off about it, which is good. Like he has built a community, and I respect that. Like the guy worked hard, and that's what I think. Like touching back on that thing before, like with affiliates, people think it's just going to fall in your lap when it comes to streaming. It don't fall in your lap. You got to work hard for
mm,
it. You got to work like oh,
yeah.
like in your Oh, so here's a question for you. With your buzz with the what's the day in for like Mr. Hershey stands 0145? That's alright, mate. What's the day in for you? Like, what's your plans on how you get ready for your stream and stuff like that? Like, what type of social networking you do? Uh, what's involved in you when you're setting up, getting ready for a stream, just sort of thing.
So the mentality I bring before I go into a stream or before I get ready to stream,
Mm-hmm.
I immediately just start thinking about the people that are going to be coming to my channel.
Mm.
Um, I think about the fact that when it comes down to it, Twitch for a lot of people is a distraction, whether it be from work, home, stress, whatever have you. I think about that and I try to basically just kind of prep myself and give myself a pep talk and be like, okay, what's something I can do today that is going to what's the word I'm inspire somebody to at least feel a little bit better
Mm.
or to want to make somebody else feel better. That's a mentality that I bring into it. And for prepping wise, um, I post on social media. I go on Twitter. I go on Instagram. Now that I'm active on Discord, I go into my Discord. I let everybody know, like, hey guys, this is what I'm going to be playing
Mm-hmm.
today. This is what I plan on doing. if anybody wants to play, etc., etc.
Yep.
So basically, I try to be loose about it, but I also try to look at it from a corporate standpoint, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I was about to have an event, a corporate event, and what am I going to make sure that I'm ready for? Okay, I got to put my game face on. I got to make sure I'm smiling. I got to make sure I have a good attitude. I got to make sure that everything that happened before that stream or before that event stays before
Yep.
and doesn't go into. It can be impossible sometimes to do that, but that's what I aim for. And to touch on what you said with the social media, I think it's really important. And I see a lot of people struggle with this to promote themselves. A lot of people feel it's tacky. A lot of people feel like a lot of people are just too humble. And
Mm.
I say that because PS2, you knew me for a long time. It wasn't until recently
Mm.
that I finally started advertising on social media.
Yeah.
Like,
You have to.
I'm gonna be streaming, I'm doing,
Mm.
but you have to do those things. And you may think that it seems tacky to post about yourself, but
Mm.
the truth is there are a lot of people, or maybe there's even just a few people, but there are some people regardless
Mm.
that want to know what's going on, that
Mm.
want to know what your day is.
Yeah.
What time are you going to be on? Are you going to
Mm.
stream tonight? Are you not going to stream tonight?
Mm.
They want to know.
Yeah.
So the least you can do
Is
is just communicate and make people aware.
And not only that, like the Twitch app, like sometimes might alert people that you was online an hour or two later. It's not the most reliable thing. So having another outlet, like if you're having several outlets to let people know that you've gone online, is good. Like using Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, if you want to use that. Even TikTok, I see people now starting to use TikTok as a way to let people know they're going on streams and stuff like that. So having multiple outlets to let people know that, hey, I'm going to be on so and so at this time is saying, oh, okay, cool, I'll go check them out. And not only that, also giving you an opportunity of getting a newer audience as well. Like someone might see like your hashtag Twitch and might see your face. Oh, that guy looks okay, or she looks fine. I might go and check him out. So it's giving you an advantage. It's not giving you a disadvantage. I don't, yeah, because
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do the
And
same thing. Like they don't post when they're online, and then they get the shits up when they say no one's watched me. Well, you got to
yeah,
work.
no one knows you're on.
Yeah, no one knows you're on.
And to go into what you said too, I think because a lot of times people say like, oh well, I don't like taking selfies. The thing is, with Twitch, let me take a few steps back.
You're right.
There are more than, I think it's like 50 to 150 million people that watch Twitch.
It's a lot.
Okay, that's a lot of fucking people.
Mm.
So thinking of it on that perspective, there's people who look for different kinds of content. There's some people who want to see stuff that's more personal. There's some people that just want to see content that's purely based off the game or whatever they're working on. At the end of the day, when it comes to streaming, just overall, this is kind of like an overall message of streaming. You have to do what's comfortable for you.
Mm.
And if posting on social media or having to deal with an occasional troll from time to time, or, you know, checking in on people every once in a while, if that's too much for you, then not even trying to be a jerk about it, but streaming isn't for you.
Mm.
Because a hobby or not, a hobby is something that you're enthused about. And when you're enthused about something, normally you don't hold back.
Mm.
And that's one thing that I've been trying to iterate to people, especially lately in my streams, is like when it's something that you're actually passionate about, or when it's something that you know or understand, there is no hesitation.
Yep.
There is no questioning it. You just do it because that's what you believe in.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that's going to change it because it's your passion. Nobody can change the way that you feel besides yourself. So that's just how I feel.
This is why I love talking to you, because I know you have a passion, you have a good insight towards this stuff, and I feel like when I talk to you, I'll get the real deal and your real input onto what you think is. Also, another thing I want to touch on is that me and Hershey, it's like the mid-range Twitch streamers. Like, you know, we get a bunch of people coming in there. We do okay on Twitch. We're affiliates, some of that. regulars coming in, right? We're not mainstream huge streamers. We don't get like hundreds of people watching us, or even 50 or 60 people. You know, occasionally we get like maybe 30, 40, 50 people here there. But on average, we get 10 to 15 people watching us, if that. I mean, sometimes we get 4 or 5 people with that, but it's fine. But what we're trying to explain to you here is why do you think you want to stream, and why, and what's the do's and don'ts about streaming? Like, is it for you? You know, and this is why I wanted to do this podcast thing, just to get different insights of other people and stuff like that. Instantly, like you said, people think, oh, I can just get affiliate and things are just going to fall in my lap. On my personal experience with streaming is, even when I'm not streaming, I'm doing something for a stream. Like, I'm messaging companies about sponsorships. I'm messaging other companies for game codes to get stuff done, or I'm organizing a giveaway or something like that, or I'm in other people's streams, watching their streams. It can be a full-time job doing this stuff. You know, it can be. Don't think that, oh, I'm just going to click on the button, go live, and things are going to just happen. Oh, excuse me. But it doesn't do that for you. You have to work hard for it. And like you said, and if you don't feel that you can handle trolls or handle the networking or handle being online and stuff like that, like you said, maybe Twitch isn't for you.
For you.
I wanted to ask you also, when people come into your chat, like doing shoutouts and stuff, what's your do's and don'ts about shoutouts and stuff like that? Like, what's your personal views about people coming into your channel, or even like new or regular, or what like about people coming in to self-promote and stuff like that? What's your thoughts on that?
Basically, when I first started streaming, and I think everybody kind of falls into this trap. You want to shout out everybody that comes into your stream, because it's like, oh shit, they're coming into mine. I appreciate that for them. Don't do that. Also, if you're one of those people that go into a stream that you've barely been in, and you're like, hey, my stream, or you talk about your own personal content and somebody else's, don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't see an employee from McDonald's walk into a Burger King lobby and say, hey, these guys are selling hamburgers, but guess what? We're selling hamburgers too. So
True.
you should come check our hamburgers sometime as well. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to shout outs, only shout out people that you actually support. I think it's a very good mindset to have, to want to be supportive of the people that come into your stream, because in essence they are supporting you, but you have to be very mindful of why are they supporting you. And that's going to sound a little bit bitter, and I'm not trying to make Twitch out to be this bad thing, because it's not. I love Twitch. Twitch has done a lot for me.
Yeah.
But because it is a gaming platform and there are a lot of nice people on Twitch, there's also a lot of bad people who try to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So try to be understanding, like, are the people I'm shouting out, how often do they come to my stream? And you can base that off of, okay, like, how much do they work in their personal life? Like, you can't hold grudges against somebody who works 60 hours a week and only is able to come to your stream for 15.
Yeah.
Because they have a life. They have a family, they have a job, whatever.
Yeah.
Can't get mad at that. But you think about, how much time do they actually come to your stream? Have they ever shouted you out randomly or in a way that wasn't really beneficial to them? And then also, how do they interact with your community?
Yeah.
And see, that's my biggest thing. You know me personally, like, for those of you who don't know me, in my stream, I really stress it to where people don't only come there for me, they come there for the people in the chat.
Yeah.
They come there because they just got done talking to the person that they see in chat now. And they're like, oh, picking up their conversation from before. So make sure that people are not just supporting you, but supporting the people that are in there as well. Because just from a viewer standpoint, not even a streamer standpoint, but just from a viewer standpoint, it means a lot to a viewer when you go into a chat and you have people besides the streamer say, hey, how are you? Or like, hey, what's going on? It actually envelops that mindset.
It's a good set. It's a good, yeah.
And when you can get that, it's a beautiful feeling, and you start seeing the chain reaction of the way that people start gaining confidence and the way that people start molding themselves.
Well, I see that in your chats, man. Like, the moment I go into your chat, I get greeted by you and like everybody else in there. You know, like, oh, hey PS2, and like that. So that's wise words there. I'm terrible. Like, I share everybody. I'm pretty bad for it. I just trying to be nice. That's just me. Maybe I need to rephrase what I do there a little bit. I get a little bit excited and carried away with people coming in. But I do.
That's the
want,
thing,
yeah,
though, man.
yeah.
Like I told you.
Hmm?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like I told you before, that's because you're a nice person, right?
Yeah,
And you literally want everybody to succeed, and I want everyone to
yeah,
succeed too, but at a certain extent,
yeah. I get you.
you know. And I much rather want the people who are genuine and who are actually
Yeah,
supportive to succeed much faster and much more than just some Joe Schmo,
who's
you
trying
know.
to who's just trying to just get something out of you because you're relatively a
Mm-hmm.
bit bigger than that person or something. Yeah. I get that, and I've had that happen to me. I've had people come in asking for help with affiliates, and then they're gone. You never see them again. So, um,
Yep. No, that's happened to me too.
yeah, and it's a kind of a shitty feeling because like, um, the majority of the people I know who come in my streams are pretty decent. You know, you occasionally get a troll or some people dickheads and that, but
Yeah.
it happens. It comes with the territory, like you said. But yeah, I'm not. I am a bit against when you get a random stranger come and say, "Hey, you know, I'm on this line" and stuff like that. It doesn't sit well with me. If it's someone who's on a regular basis popping in and stuff like that, you know, and I'll ask them, "Hey, how's your streams?" and they'll say, "Oh yeah, okay." I'm sort of like going through some stuff, and I'll say, "I'll give them a shout out," you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, I should probably sit back and be a bit more reserved on who I'm giving shout outs to as well. There's some wise words. See, that's why I got you here, man. Also, the follow for follow thing. Like, I noticed that this is it just me? Is it follow for follow starting to trend back hard again? Like, it seems that people want to be following everybody for some bullshit, you know.
Yeah. Well,
It's
the
getting a
follow
bit
for
crazy.
follow surge.
Hmm.
I noticed that surge coming back, but that I tally that up to coronavirus. Bunch of
Yeah.
people who never really streamed before
Hmm.
have more free time.
Hmm.
They come into it, and like I said, Twitch is it's a great place with plenty of opportunities. But in the same mindset, a lot of people who try to take advantage. People who try to
Yeah.
just ride other people's waves.
Yeah. Ride
Um,
their success or that sort of semi success and stuff like that. Yeah, I get what you're
yeah.
saying there. Um, funny feeling. Funny that you said that. A couple of weeks ago, I had some kid message me on Instagram. You know when you get that message alert saying someone wants to send you a message, and you're like, I get a bit curious on who it is, so I just open up, and it's this kid,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "Oh, follow me on Twitch." It's like, what? It's like, why? And he goes, to support me. To support you how? And then he goes, I said, dude, I don't even know you. Why would I come in? Like, why? And then I just started trying to educate. I don't want to be abusive and stuff like that. I just said to him, dude, I said, are you following me by any chance? Do you know who I am? No, I don't follow you. And then I said to him, so you're basically wanting me to support you, even though you don't follow me. I'm a random stranger. You saw that I have a Twitch channel, and you want me to just follow you. And he just blatantly went, yeah. Okay. I said, do you see?
Well,
I see
at
the
least he
wrong.
was honest about
Yeah,
it.
he was honest about it. I just said, but well, he was only a kid. Like, I think he was about 12 or 13. And I was like, for starters, dude, I'm an adult male, and you're messaging. You should be careful who you message on Twitch. Two, that sort of stuff is frowned upon. Asking followers for follows. I said, what you should be doing is going into people's streams, watch that person. If you like that person, their content, the way they stream, follow them. Don't follow people because you think you're going to get a follow back, because it is not going to get you anywhere. And he goes, oh, okay, no worries then. 2 seconds later, so you're still going to follow me? And I was like, I went and
Fucking
watched it.
idiot.
Yeah, I went in there and watched his stream. It was an absolute train wreck. He was playing like GTA or something, and he had kids being toxic to him and stuff like that. I almost followed him, and I was like, no, I can't do that. He's not going to last, poor kid. I but Yeah, the follow for follow thing. Like you said, COVID-19's hit, and people think they're just going to jump on Twitch and make a name for themselves or
Jump on
something.
Twitch and ride away.
Yeah.
And you know, this is something that I was actually just talking to another streamer about the other day.
Mm.
So many times I've seen it in your stream, I've seen it in my stream, a lot of people's streams. Someone will come in and go, "Hey, I don't know how to use this bot," or "Hey, how
Oh
do I do
yeah.
this?" Or
Oh, it's so
like
annoying.
asking you a million questions about streaming
Mm.
while you're streaming.
Mm.
Um, my whole thing is this: if you're gonna be streaming and your goal is affiliate or partner,
Mm.
like you want to make a business out of it,
Yep.
again, moral and underlying part of the story, treat it like a business.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Know your market. Know your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you bring as an entertainer.
Yeah.
Because truth is, a lot of us were brought up with this motto: if you're a good person and if you try hard, you can do anything.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the biggest spoon of bullshit
Yeah.
that we've ever been fed.
Yeah.
And people need to fucking realize, man, that like,
Oh, I think we lost you, Hirsch.
shit.
Oh, there we go. You're right.
You know, no pun intended. This shit isn't a game.
Yeah.
Like, this is life. Do you want to? Oh, can you hear me now? I was just saying, like, this isn't a game. This is real life.
Yeah.
And do you want to fucking waste your time and just end up feeling defeated and doubt yourself even more, or do you want to take it seriously and possibly get something? And what I was saying to this other streamer is that, like, I see a lot of people that talk about how much they want affiliate and they want this, they want that. They couldn't tell you how many people watch Twitch. They couldn't tell you what channels are the best channels or what games are the best games to stream on. They couldn't tell you what days are their best days with their highest views. They couldn't even tell you what their highest view count. But they want all the accolades that come with it.
Yeah,
and that's my point.
I agree with you, that man. I get so many people doing the same thing to me.
And it's just you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's like that old saying. Like, you can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, you know what? I want to be able to eat that cake, but not get fat from it." You're gonna get.
You're gonna get fucking.
You're gonna eat
fat.
that cake. And and your ass is gonna jiggle for a week.
It's gonna be like all that. That cake went straight to my ass. I agree with you 100%. I've had so many people coming in asking me, what bot do you use? What's your camera? What's this? How do I get this to work? Well, I'm doing my thing. And 9 times I say, do you have YouTube? Yeah. Then fucking look it up. God. I'm trying to do my thing here and you're asking me stupid questions. Like, I learned myself, dude. Like, you should have seen my streams when I first started. It was a fucking train wreck. It was an absolute train wreck. Like, when I first started streaming, I had the Connect camera here. I didn't know where to place it. I didn't know if my audio was working. Like, honestly, people came in and go, who the fuck is this guy? But I was like, okay, how do I make this better? How do I improve on it? First thing I was like, okay, I've got to get myself a mic because I sound like I'm talking in an outhouse. And I got myself a mic and I got myself a camera and then I got the Elgato with my crappy laptop and stuff like that. And then I didn't go into people's streams asking for help. I networked. I followed some people and, and they started coming to my streams and being nice and saying, oh, look, you got this still not working and stuff like that. Well, when you got time, if you want to help me out, that'd be awesome. So people doing that because they want to, not because you asked them to. That's another thing I feel that don't be demanding of people because, like, there's another thing about Twitch I don't like is, and I'll touch you up on that. I'll ask you up on this, dude. Well, touchy, feely. Do you ever get people who subscribe to you or drop donations and drop bits or constantly in your channel feel that they get like a rite of passage to say what they want or feel that you should drop out a hat whatever you're doing to go on their stream or game with them or amuse them like you're part of their property? Do you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah. Of my 5 years on Twitch, I've had that quite a bit. People, that's why, and as you know, like, I've always had this mentality. I don't like people subbing to me. I know it's a popular thing these days to be like, oh my God, you gifted, stop. But like, I don't like that because so often in my past, not just on Twitch, but
Mm.
so many people offer me gifts or they want
Mm.
to help,
Mm.
but what it really is them being like a pawn shop and saying, okay, well, I'm gonna give you this now, and then I'm gonna expect the rest of that payment
Mm.
after the fact. Like
Yeah.
I'm collecting mine after,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. I don't like the concept of people trying to say, hey, well, I donate. Look, man, if you gift a sub or 50 subs or 100 subs or 1,000 subs,
Mm.
seriously, from a
Mm.
content creator, thank you, because every
Mm.
fucking bit helps.
Oh yeah.
But on the same side, like, we're not strippers,
Mm-hmm.
we're not hookers,
Mm-hmm.
we're not street artists.
Mm-hmm.
We're content creators. We
Mm.
create our own.
Mm.
We're not wind up monkey dolls.
I agree.
So if you are donating or you're subbing for the mere fact of thinking like, oh, I'm either going to either be able to tell the streamer what to do, or I'm going to be able to play games with them now because I donated, like,
Mm.
you're donating for the
Yeah.
you
I
shouldn't be doing it.
I yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly, dude. Because I've had that happen to me numerous amounts of times myself. And I've always said the same
Mm,
thing. The impression I want to do is on not only that I think first up whoever's listening to this video, if you're planning on to subscribe to somebody or drop bits to somebody or donate to somebody because you feel that you're going to get something out of that person because like hey maybe they'll put me up on the top tier now to game whenever I want to game with them or we can inbox each other and become like the best buddies and stuff like that. You shouldn't be thinking that way at all. You're doing that for a reason because hey, I like what this person brings to their streams. I like supporting this content, what they're doing. I think they're good people and I like what they're doing with their community and I want to help out in a way to help maybe improve or help them out in any way. Not because you think you're going to get something out of it. If you're going to do that, then that's a shitty thing to do. It's just being a shitty person. You should do that because you feel that, hey, I love what this guy's doing. I love what she's doing with the stream. It's really good, and I want to see maybe if I donate a sub or something like that, help them out. Maybe they can get it, help them with new equipment or buy that next game they couldn't afford, or just because I like what I'm seeing and I want to support in any way I can. Not because you feel like you're gonna get in the next game set. Because it's happened to me too, dude. Like I've had people saying, "Oh man." And I'm blunt with them too. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm pretty blunt. I said, hey, I thought you was subscribing or dropping a donation because you support the channel, not because you think you're going to get something out of it. And if you do that from now on, don't sub or subscribe or anything like that, please. And 9 times out of 10, they understand. Sometimes you get the casual person. Well, it's like, well, if you're going to be like that, buy your own friends somewhere else. I'm not a person to be. I'm
That's all.
poor. Yeah, you know. Are you there?
No, and I mean,
Mm.
I've had it. I've had it to where, like, people who do donate or whatever,
Mm.
they expect me, like, if I'm playing the game and I got people,
Mm.
oh, invite me.
Mm. Mm.
I'm playing with people.
Yeah.
You think I'm just gonna kick somebody out?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm done with it. But like you said though, I think people need to understand if you're gonna be donating,
Yeah.
donate for the right reasons. Like,
Yeah.
there's only 3 reasons I'll donate to a.
Mm.
One, because I like the content they create. Two,
Mm-hmm.
because I like the personality. Or
Mm.
three, because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll donate to like a channel that's a little bit smaller or
Mm.
somebody who's new. Like,
Yeah.
I'll browse Twitch and I'll just find
Yeah.
somebody randomly. Um, and I'll just donate them a couple subs here or there
Yeah.
because I want to hopefully inspire them to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, those are the main reasons. It's not because I'm expecting something out of it. It's because I want to either help somebody be like, yo, somebody just came into my stream today. Like, that's going to be something they're going to talk to about to their partner or to their
Yeah.
parents or to their friends. Like, I was streaming today and some random person came in and just gifted 5 or 10 subs. Like,
Yeah.
my stream was awesome. It might make their whole fucking month, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if I could do that, dude, like,
Mm.
cool. I'm with it. And then, like I said too, if their content is good, if the games that they play fun and the group that they have are fun, cool.
Yeah.
And if they're a good person. And I can't remember if I said this earlier, but this is something I was thinking about. Um, if a lot of the things is I see a lot of people go, oh, like, oh, this person's a good person.
Yeah.
They deserve XXX.
Mm.
And I'm one of those people too, because like there's some people out there. I'm like, yo, this person's a good person. They
Yeah,
deserve this, that, and the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
The truth of the reality is like being a good person doesn't mean shit
yeah.
on Twitch.
Yeah, no,
On
it does.
Twitch,
Yeah, there's a lot of good people on Twitch. I feel that are getting really no love on Twitch. Zero,
none,
none at
none.
all.
I know a few people in particular that like have been streaming for a long time that
Mm.
barely have any followers or any
Mm.
views, and it just baffles me because I see them in
Oh,
everybody else's stream, always
I'm the same.
supporting, always doing.
What's your thoughts on that? Why do you think that they maybe don't do as well? Like they're generally a nice person. You see them in everybody's streams. What's your mentality on that? Like, but I guess
The
it's
reason that nice people.
mm,
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think the reason why you see more genuinely nice people not as successful is because, like, truth of the matter is, if you want to be successful, whether it's on Twitch or in life, sometimes you have to be an ass.
mm, mm,
I mean, some people can disagree with me on this all they
mm,
want to, and that's fine. This is just my opinion. This is based off of what I've seen.
yeah,
Um, But to be successful, there's moments you're going to have to be an asshole. You're going to have to be selfish. And you're going to have to think for yourself. And when
yeah,
you're a good person, like an actual good person, not a good person where it's like, I donate to the Salvation Army, like an
a
actual good
genuine,
person.
yeah. I get what you're saying
It's
there.
hard
I
for you.
understand that entirely.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's hard for you to be selfish, right? Like it's
mm,
hard for you to want to do these things. Like right now, I have people up my ass, and I don't say that like they're up my
mm,
ass like I'm mad at them, but I have people
yeah,
up my ass about getting a PC.
yeah,
But it's like to me, getting a PC is a selfish move right now because
mm,
well, personal reasons I've talked to you about that I'm
mm,
not going to say on here, but
yeah,
there's stuff that I have to take care of, and it'd
yeah.
be selfish of me in the middle of all this stuff going on, being
Mm-hmm.
like, well, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to a fucking $1,200 PC and a fucking $400,
Yeah, yeah.
like
You got to set
not
your
going to do it.
priorities. You got to set your priorities. You know,
Yeah,
you can't.
well, and
Yeah,
there's a friend of mine. I don't know if I can do a shout out on
you can.
if
It's
that's
fine. You're fine.
okay. So recently, one of my good friends, Ebony Kayla, she started streaming. I know she's been in your
She's a
streams before.
sweetheart. She's lovely.
Um, yeah, she's an absolute nice person. I could
Mm,
tell from the jump that she's an actual genuine person.
mm,
And I was having a conversation with her, and I was trying to tell her like, don't don't allow your kindness to be a
mm,
right. Like you have to wear that shit as an armor, and you have to go into this understanding that you're a good person, you're a nice person. So
mm.
there's going to be times where you're going to actually be working against yourself,
Yep.
right? So don't be afraid to promote yourself. Don't be afraid to talk and about your accomplishments and
Mm,
your goals when you're with your friend. Like
yep.
that's not and that's the problem. When you're good people don't see that as being just a conversationalist. They see that as them being self.
Yeah.
And sorry for going on a tangent, but I just kind of want
No, that's fine because I was about to say that to you. Like as a question is, um, I don't think it's like it depends the way you word things. Like, let's just say you had a really good night of streaming. You had like a bunch of people. It could be either way. You could have just had a really nice stream. People just coming in there, chatting, interacting. You could have just got like a ton of subs or a ton of bits or tons of donations, or you got rated by someone relatively big or just somebody. Whatever. It made your night, and you were really pumped and keen, and you talked to somebody about that and people go, oh god, don't talk about your stream. It's like you're like gloating and stuff. I think that kind of annoys me, like when because I noticed one thing with Twitch as well. There is a ton of jealousy on other people's successes on Twitch as well. Like
to.
if you're having a really good night or you've had a good month or something like that, there's a lot of people who are saying, oh, we're so proud of you, but yet you can sense that jealousy or resent towards you that you may be doing better than them, you know. And
My favorite comment is like, "Oh, I wish I could get this."
mm, yeah, um,
That's my favorite.
I don't feel that for anyone. I really don't. But I was a time when I did, because I think that's with streaming, you learn from your mistakes. You try to learn from what you've done wrong. And I was in the same boat as you, man. I did the follow for follow thing when I first started. I was jumping in other people's streams thinking they would follow me and stuff like that. But it's a learning process, and if you don't learn from what you're doing on Twitch, you're not going to get anywhere, you know. And then when I got my affiliate, that's all I thought was, oh, who's going to be my first subscriber? What's going on here? And who's going to drop me bits and who's going to drop me this, and then it it eats at you. It gradually starts gnawing at you in your brain, the way you feel, and then when you've had maybe a good night and you didn't have the best night the night before, like maybe a week later you have a really shitty night of streaming, it affects you. And there was also a time for me I was going to quit streaming, but like you, man, like our private conversations that we've had, I just thought I got to nip this in the bud. I can't let stuff like this eat at me. Who's going to sub tonight? Who's going to come in and watch me tonight? Who's going to drop bits? Who's going to do this? You let that stuff eat at you, you're going to just make yourself fail. Then that, and I see that a lot. Like I see a lot of people just letting that shit eat them up, and they try not to, but it affects them on their streams as well. Like you watch them, they're not having a good time because they see one or two people in there. I've had even recently, I've had like 3 or 4 people watch a stream, and I just did my own thing. You gotta not let that shit eat at you, because it really affects you in the long term. It really does, and I feel that people need to stop worrying about numbers, stop worrying about subs, stop worrying about bits, stop worrying about who's gonna be there, or people gonna watch me and stuff. But if you want people to come and watch you and stuff, you need to work for it as well. Like you said, man, you need to network. Have you worked, like, I know you was not a huge Discord fan. Seeing that you have Discord now, has there any changes to your viewership on Twitch or anything like that? Have you noticed something slightly different now with your streams?
I wouldn't say that there's a huge difference because I've been slowly kind of integrating into Discord. But I will say that the bonds and the relationships I have with the people who do come in and that are in my Discord are a lot stronger because a lot of times I won't be streaming. We'll do movie nights, or we'll sit and voice chat and listen to a podcast together and break it down as a group. And it's helped me get a lot closer and understand the people who come into my stream a little bit better, because you know how it is when you're streaming. You got people in your ear, you got people in your house, and then you got people in your game, then you got people in your stream, and you have all those people that you're thinking about, and you're having to, am I paying enough attention to this person? Am I paying enough attention? Is my gameplay good?
Yeah.
Like, you have all these different things that your mind's rolling through, and I think, yeah, man, it's a very tough thing.
Yeah.
Just end it with it's a tough thing to do, and I think people need to respect.
Yeah, I feel that as well, man. With the streaming streaming on Twitch, is there any goals or any goals that you want to do in the next 5 years? Where would you like to see your channel to be? Do you have any goals for your channel to be? Where would you think it will be in the next 4 or 5 years? Where would you like to see Hershey Stains 815?
Honestly, man, I just want to see a community that has a nice presence, and that's not even number wise. I just want the overall message of my streams and the way I try to give more love than.
That's nice, man.
And it sounds contradictory to some of the things I said, because at the end of the day, you do have to be mindful of what you get, but especially when it comes to the people that you care about, give more love than you get, because you may not get the instant gratification of getting something back, but you at least get the gratification of help somebody.
Yeah.
I think right now, more importantly, I think that's something everybody can agree on is we should all be trying to help each other out. And to go back to the numbers thing on Twitch, there's 150 million people watching. Everybody has a place at this table. Like, stop worrying about if your viewers are going to go over to this channel instead of watching.
Yeah.
Like, it's entertainment. It's a trend. People get tired of things and then they come back to it. It's not personal. it's a business, and that's the thing with Twitch now. And that's what you said earlier. That's the one thing I noticed about changes past 5 years is Twitch is a business now. Even for people like you and I
Mm.
who don't want anything big off.
Mm.
But before I go on a longer rant to answer your question, 4 or 5 years, that's just what I want, is just to have a presence and to have recognition.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as they hear Hershey or they hear Hirsch or they hear Stangang or they hear something about Strudel,
Yeah.
like, yo, this person's good people.
Mm.
They're going to be helpful and supportive, and not the fake support, not the fake helpful,
Mm.
just genuinely good person who's going to be. That's what I just be.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I have similar aspirations. Like, I mean, it's great that people subscribe to me. Great that people drop donations to me and bits and stuff like that. But you know what? I'll drop all that in the hat just to have people come in every night having a good laugh and just chill. That to me is probably the most important thing. Like last night when people just coming in there being so supportive of the birthday thing, that was just like the best thing. That was really sweet, just how people coming in there. And then it also makes you feel that you've done something really amazing to get all these people to come in there to wish you well wishes, because then you felt like maybe you've shown them something in you that they liked, and felt that they can come in there and just say, look, hey, appreciate your work that you do, appreciate what you as a person are, as a streamer, as a friend, because that's what I like to do, man. Like you, man. We're in both parts of the world, but I feel that we have similar things that we want to do for our channel and what we do, like as streamers ourselves. Like, we want to bring a good community, a good bunch of people, and say, oh, I like going in that person's channel because they always have a good laugh, you always have a good time, they got good people in there. And that's all I want, is just have a good vibes. I know that vibes sounds so bloody mediocre and so corny, but I just want to be where people can just come in, have a laugh, and just forget about that shit. Because I also, that's another thing about Twitch I find is really hard, is like, as a streamer as well, we deal with a lot of personal stuff, people coming in there and talking about stuff that's going on in their lives. I might even know a person and they'll start saying some really terrible shit of what's happening in their lives. I know people are looking for an outlet. Sometimes they're looking for people to talk to, even a random stranger, but sometimes you got to respect that person. They don't know how they're going to react. You know, you might be pushing them over an edge, because like there's a lot of sensitive souls out there who might not be able to handle what you're saying. And I know, like Hershey, you're a very what's the word I'm looking for? Someone easy to talk to. Like, I feel like like I said, our personal conversations we've had past, we've said some personal shit. I feel like you're a person you can talk to, and I feel that some people come into Twitch looking for someone to talk to, but sometimes they might pick the wrong person, and it might backfire in their face, or even that person who might not be properly trained in sort of what they're going through, and they might give the wrong advice. Oh, excuse me. So you got to be careful with that too. Like, so I would say that you probably get a good bunch of people coming into your channel. Oh my God, I got the hiccups now. You probably get a good bunch of people coming in there and asking you some personal stuff, like, oh my God, I'm having a terrible day. How do you deal with it without, also, because there's probably people who just want to come in there and chill, watch your stream, have a laugh, and then someone comes in your channel saying, oh, I'm having the most terrible day, Hershey, blah, blah, blah. How do you deal with that sort of thing? Like, coming in there? Like, what's your...
See, that's a tough question because it's kind of contextual. First and foremost, if somebody comes into my chat, especially if it's somebody that I've seen before, my reaction to it is usually I want to make sure that they understand I'm sincere and that I do care. because I am somebody on my stream. I do let people know, hey, if you ever do need to talk, you can literally shoot me a message.
Mm.
I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Like, you can talk to me. I
Yeah.
want to be able to be there. Like, we've had conversations before. We've both been through a lot,
Yeah.
right? And so it's something I can share with other people. Like, hey, I understand where you're at. Let's try to talk about it and see what we can do to.
Mm.
Um, and when it happens in my stream, I think it can be very tough because, like you said, we're not professionals.
Mm.
We're just streamers.
Mm.
A lot of people come in there and they're looking for an escape from it.
Yeah.
They don't want to think about it. Um, but my mentality is, personally, I'm gonna address that thing, and I want to make sure that person is acknowledged and that they
Mm.
understand that there is somebody who does care.
Mm.
But after that, I will ask them, like, hey, if you want to keep talking about it, let's move it to a DM. I can pause my stream for a second. Everybody can chill out, talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know, um, because I think it's important to be able to set those boundaries. Because I want, not just on Twitch, but in life, I want people to be a little bit more open to just say, like, hey,
Mm.
today's not a
Yeah.
good. But I also don't want people who are just gonna whinge every day.
Yeah. I see a lot of that too. Like people just will whinge and complain about the most smallest things. If it's, I've had the same thing happen to me. Like people coming in, oh, like some really bad, um, and I agree. There's a time and place for that sort of stuff. Like if you're coming on someone's streams, if it's like an utmost emergency, if someone's having something really bad happening to them, I'll say, all right, message me or something like that, DM me after or something like that. Or if it's really emergency, I would stop the stream for them if it's something really bad. Um, but if you come in there feeling woeful, you've had a shit day because maybe the dog shit on the carpet and you don't know what to do. I mean, something really minuscule about something like that. Set that aside. Someone's trying to do their streams, and also that like a lot of people come into Twitch because they need a laugh. They need an outlet to just get away from the mundane shit. And I see a lot of people bring a lot of their baggage into streams, into stuff like that. If it's legit problem or something like that, more than happy to help out. But if it's just something really tedious, um, and you just oh god, I had a terrible day at work. We all do. We all have shit things going on. Like that person might be having a shit day today and is streaming because just he or she wanted an outlet, and then you come in there with those vibes as well. But like I said, if it's a legit thing, hey, something really bad's happened today, and I just need someone to talk to. I'm sorry to bring that up. And you go, okay, well, DM me what the problem is, and you look at the message, and oh shit, that is pretty bad. Listen, guys, I'm gonna have to stop the stream for a bit. A friend needs to talk to me. But if it's someone random who's just trying to make you feel guilty, because I notice that also happens on Twitch. People coming into someone's streams, try to make that person guilty and make it all about themselves. People do that as well, which is I don't approve. The guilting streamers and guilting the chat, and not only that, it just throws people off. It just throws the whole vibe off the stream as well. So, if you're a legit person, you're going through some really bad shit. Also, there's so many outlets too. Like, there's so many places where you can call and ask for help. I mean, if you think about right now where mental health is at now, where it was 20, 30 years ago, where there's only like a few numbers you can call or something like that. Mental health is, I think, now is being more acceptable as a problem. I mean, it's still a bit of stigmata here and there, depending where I work. I work in a pretty blokey, tough, no nonsense sort of place. But when you talk about mental health and stuff like that, it gets a little bit frowned upon. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you talk to a mate or something like that, they're sort of like pretty understanding. But I feel that there is still a bit of stigmata with mental illness and stuff like that. But I think you have a lot more options and possibilities of getting help somewhere. But just also, if you are having a bad day, just think before you speak. Someone's stream, hey, should I bring this up? Maybe I'll just DM after when they're done their stream or something like that, because maybe they're going through something right now. They just need to have an outlet themselves. So it's tough because, like, honestly, dude, when I didn't stream, didn't hear hardly anything about like mental illness awareness and stuff like that. These things were rarely mentioned, but when you get on Twitch, it just opens up a whole opens up a whole new world to what
Well,
people are going through.
you start seeing the different realities, because
Mm.
that's the thing. I think before the age of the internet, we always kind of had this concept of the world, right? Where
Mm.
it's like my reality is the one reality for everyone.
Mm.
The way that I see things and the way that I view them, it's going to be the same. It might be a little bit different, but relatively, it's going to be in the same ballpark. But
Yeah.
truth is, man, it's different for everyone. And I think, to go back for a second, I think there needs to be mutualism. I think both parties in this case, they have to meet in the road. The person who comes into the stream and is talking about the problems that they're going through, however big or small they
Mm.
may be, um, they have to be mindful that the streamer might be going through something that day
Mm-hmm.
themselves,
Mm.
or that they might have something going on,
Mm.
and maybe curtail it a little bit. And the streamer has to understand that a lot of people who are on, some people don't have family, some
Mm.
people don't have friends,
Mm.
and that's not me like attacking them or making fun. That's just me stating fact.
Yeah.
Um, and so they don't really have anywhere to go, or they've never really had anybody that they can go to and try to talk to and look for
Yep.
advice, or to seek some sort of consolation, or whatever it may
Mm.
be. And so I get it, and that's why I try not. I used to get mad about it. I
Mm.
used to be like, why the fuck would this dude come in my stream and start talking about this? Like, don't they understand that I'm
Mm.
pissed off too? And I still have that attitude sometimes,
Mm.
when I'm throwing myself a pity party.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, I have to understand that, like, as bad as I may think it is for me, that's my reality, and that person's
Yeah.
reality is completely different. And it might just be a broken glass to me, but that glass might have been their grandpa's glass, or it might
Yeah.
have been their dad's glass, or their mom's
Mm.
glass, who's not alive anymore.
Mm.
So I try to take, before I react to it emotionally, I try to take a step back. And of course, I'm not perfect, but
Mm.
I try to take a step back and just say, okay, like, obviously, if it's something this small that they're getting upset about, like, if it is something small,
Mm.
obviously something else is going on in the background that they don't want to talk about. So they're just using this
Mm.
as the scapegoat, right? Like, when
Yeah.
we're angry at someone, we look for any fucking thing we can do or say to try to get in that person's head. And
Mm.
it's the same thing with sadness.
Yeah.
We always look for the escape.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, man, I think ultimately there definitely is a time and a place,
Yeah.
and that's one thing that I will say when it comes to Twitch. Whether you're a viewer coming into a chat and opening up, or you're a streamer yourself,
Mm.
um, be very mindful of what you're doing, because what you're saying might trigger somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad because sometimes on my stream,
Mm.
um, I have this tendency where I don't really. This is gonna sound messed up, but like, I've been through so much trauma in my life where I
Mm.
kind of see it as a normality,
Mm.
and it's not that big of a deal to me.
Mm.
So I'm open to talk about it a lot more,
Mm.
because in some ways, I've processed it at least enough to the point to where I'm comfortable to talk about it, because I just want to finally be done with it,
Yeah.
like, to have the full analyzation of it.
Yeah.
But I understand that there's some people who aren't wanting to do that. There's some people who just want to be done with it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a delicate balance, but
It
moral to
is.
the story, man, you got to stick true to yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
what do you want from your stream? And this is something we've talked about a lot.
mm.
What do you want from your stream? Do you want it a hobby where you just come in and it's about the people that come in, or do you want it to be about the money?
Mm. I think you have to be true to yourself and where you want it to be. If it's about, yo, I want to be at a business, then you're gonna treat it like a business. Like
You know?
you don't see a shopkeeper open up a shop and expect people to just swarm into his shop. What are you selling? How much is this? Well, I can get that down the street cheaper. You know, you gotta find your niche. You gotta find out what's gonna work for you, especially if it comes to a business level. I feel that people fail so
Mhm.
much because they don't know what they want out of Twitch, or they're misguided. Like they say, "Oh yeah, I just want
Mhm.
friendships," but in the back of their head, they want that affiliate or they want to get big. But then they're just lying to themselves. If you're open, like if you just start your streaming up and saying, "Hey, listen, just I'm just started streaming. I do want to make this like a full-time job. I do want to make this an actual income and make this a living. Please help us out. If you want to come in and support the channel, that's fantastic. If not, or if you want to say, hey, listen, I'm just a Twitch streamer. I'm just doing this purely for fun as a hobby. Just want to meet new people and stuff like that. And whatever happens, happens. You know, yeah, I think you really need to be true. There's no sitting on the fence, no grey. You need to be black and white with people where you want to go with Twitch. And I see a lot of people who say one thing when they really mean another, and saying, "Oh no, I'm all about this and I'm all about that," and you know, 9 times out of 10 doesn't work for it. But then some people slide through that bullshit barrier, you know, and I see that because people are just so blinded by what they see, you know, because they're good at concealing it. And that's another thing I really don't approve of is when people are misguiding people with their Twitch intentions and saying, "Oh, look, if we get so many subs and you know this whole thing," which really puts me off, and how people just throw money at these people and yet they're getting away with it, and they're not really, and they're saying it's content when it's just them standing there or sitting there. That mentality to me is insane on how much. If they're like, I've watched just like, no, it's not just chatting streams. There's a lot of streamers that do that where they say, "Oh look, this is our sub goal today. I want 40 subs, or I'm going to turn the stream off." Like, there's a lot of selfish people out there who just do it purely for money. If they don't see a certain amount of growth on that day, they get the shits up and turn the stream off, or saying, "Oh, you're pathetic." You know, they're talking down to their audience or the viewers, and they still get away with it. I really am dumbfounded by that. Like, what is your thoughts on these sort of people who just want to make a business out of it, but are just like knocking people left and right and center and still seem to be doing okay, like doing really well? What's your thoughts on that? Why do you think those people seem to be doing great?
Because they're assholes and they're selfish, and that's what gets you successful in this
Yeah,
world.
that's true. Yeah, true.
Like,
I
just to
couldn't
be
live with
honest,
it.
and I
Yeah.
think too, and what it comes down to, man, I think, you know,
Mm.
like I said again, a lot of nice people on Twitch, and a lot of those people that go to those
Mm.
streams, they feel guilty.
Yeah.
And um, you and I,
Mm.
we talked before. We both had to live some pretty streetwise lives.
Mm.
You know, obviously we haven't done nothing too crazy. Well, at least I know on your
Speak for
end.
yourself.
But yeah. Um, but we've been around enough bullshit.
Mm.
We've been around enough people who are shady that
Yeah.
we get them little feelers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I I
Um,
I agree with you 100% on that, dude.
so I think what it comes down to, man, is once that energy levels off, that's when I just fucking
Mm.
put my hands up. There's a lot of streamers that I don't fuck with anymore because I found out that, like, this is what they're actually about. You know, they were putting a
Mm.
mask, and I was gonna say this earlier. I think what you were saying is with these streamers who are partnered and they get so obsessed about the either the end goal of being partner
Mm.
or the money of it.
Mm.
When you put on a mask, it's easy to see in front of you, but you don't see everything around. Like,
Mm.
think about it for a second. When you put on a mask for Halloween,
Mm.
you can't see shit around you. You only see
You're just
what's in
seeing
front of
what's in
you.
front of you,
And
yeah.
that's what,
You don't see what's on the
yeah,
sidelines.
and that's
Yeah,
what
I get
happens
you.
when you do a mask on the inside, bro. You don't see
Mm.
anything around you. You
Mm.
don't even see yourself. All you see is in front of you. And that might be nice, and that might get you progress, but
Mm.
at what cost does that progress come?
Mm.
And I think that's something that people need to think about. And to answer your question even more, I think people who are partner or pushing for partner, who treat people like that, or who do the thing where
Mm.
if they don't have a really good stream, they just end it.
Mm.
Don't even say bye. Don't even
Yeah.
do nothing. Like, they
Mm.
just end it. Um, Quit feeling so entitled that you should have it
Mm. Yeah.
or that you deserve it, because you don't.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, if you're doing it for business, like if you're doing it strictly for business, you're trying to make money and be partner.
Mm.
You can't yell at. You can't cuss at people.
Mm.
If you're a man or a woman, you can't talk about pulling your dick out or
Mm.
touching titties or all these other things that you try to. Because let's be honest about Twitch for a second.
Mm.
There's a lot of streamers, male and female, that try to do this flirty shit with the other opposite sex
Mm.
to either try to get subs or try to
Yeah.
get them closer into their community because they get views.
Mm.
Just keeping it real.
No, it is true. I see a lot of that.
And and I think people just really, like we keep saying, man, people need to really fucking be honest with
Mm.
themselves. Like,
Yeah.
quit trying to say that you're doing it for the love and for
I'm
this,
doing it for
what
the
you're
kids
really
of
doing is,
Ethiopia or whatever bullshit what you're saying.
yeah,
Just be upfront
like,
with people, and I think
you're
you,
doing it for money.
yeah.
And if you're doing it for money, then you have to understand that you're going to have a lot more scrutiny because you're
Mm,
looked at as a
mm,
professional,
mm,
and that you're going to have a certain level of dignity. You can't,
mm.
I don't know. There's stuff that I do want to say, but I don't want to get in trouble. So,
It's all right. I was just going back to your mask thing, mask question there. There's some people I don't really go into their streams anymore because I felt like when I first met those people, I had, when you get that bullshit meter happening, and they say
mm,
one thing to you, but they meant the next. I had that to a person who I don't frequent streams anymore because I feel that they've just totally changed their whole outlook on Twitch, and it's really bad in there now because like they're doing things for money, they're getting subs for doing certain things, and the people in their chat is just really toxic and disgusting.
mhm,
And when I first went in their streams, it was good. They were just gaming and doing stuff like that. And yes, they didn't have a huge, broad audience. But the moment they changed their way they acted and stuff like that, and the way they did stuff, it changed for them. Yes, they got more subs, but they've
mhm.
lost their dignity. I feel like
Yeah.
they've lost their dignity. And when I went in there recently and just said, "Hey, how you doing?" sort of thing, they didn't notice me at all. They just noticed the person who was dropping subs and dropping donations and bits. It was like all that mattered to them was the 10 gifted subs I just got, or the 1,000 bits I just got, or the $10 donation I got. But the people who were in between saying, "Hey, how are you?" the genuine like nice words that people were saying in their channel were sort of completely ignored because they didn't have like a little dollar sign next to their name or a donation tick or a subscription thing. And I thought, what happened to this person? You've lost your way. You've lost,
Mhm.
like, was you being honest? And I can't mess with people like that. But if you was up front with me and saying, "Hey, look, I'm just doing this stuff like purely as a business thing," and then you go all of a sudden, or you were saying, "Oh, look, I really want to do this as just to meet people and stuff," and then you do the 360, you turn right around, or 180 was it? I don't know what the fucking term is, but you change your outlook on Twitch and how you want it, but you're still pretending that you're still all about that. That me doesn't sit well. I don't like that. I really don't. Be true to yourself, and be true to yourself first. Be true to the people as well who are watching you. You gotta be like that, you know. And yeah, it kind of upset me, and I wasn't disgusted, but I was disappointed with what happened to them
Yeah.
because I thought they were like legit people.
The thing is, man, being on Twitch for 5 years, I've seen a lot of people who, like you said, did a complete 180
Mm,
on the person they were when I first met
mm,
them, to who
mm,
they are now.
yeah.
Um, and the thing that I always think of and I try to pride myself on is that I have people that have been coming around or still talk to me that have been around for 5 years.
Mm,
um, a lot of times when I talk to streamers on Twitch, whether they're partnered or they're on the path to partner,
mm,
a lot of them are talking about it's kind of like a turnover rate. People will come around for a couple months, but then they never come back. Um, so to me, it's um, it's something that I often remind myself whenever I do have those moments of doubt as a streamer, because they do come,
mm,
regardless of what you're asked for. Um, I always think of that fact that there's some people who have been following me for 5 years
mm.
and that still come in. Shout out to my boy AGO. He's one of them. He's known me for like 4 or 5 years,
He's a good
and
dude. He's a good dude.
yeah, he still comes around and he still supports everybody around me, and I got nothing but love for him. Voodoo, it's another person who's known me for years. I mean, I could name like another 6 or 7 people.
Mm,
It's a really good feeling, and I think that, like you said, when it comes to a lot of Twitch streamers, and that's why I made the post I did for you the other day on Twitter.
mm,
90% of these Twitch streamers are pretending to be the person that you are,
mm,
which is somebody who genuinely cares about the people who come into their chat, not just how their day's going, but like, are they doing the shit to hit them checklist goals?
mm,
Like, are they taking care of themselves?
mm,
Are their bills paid? Like, you care.
mm.
you care and you go out of your way to care for people who a lot of times, and I'm, not trying to stir no shit, but a lot of times people who don't even give you the time of day back.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks a lot to you, and it speaks a lot to where Twitch is now, which is why I said earlier it's a business.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. Like you said, there are people that we both have known
Mm.
that have, at one point, it was a community based thing, and now it's a money based thing.
Mm.
And you can tell because when they're not making money on stream, they're not having a good time.
Mm.
They stream for maybe 30, 40 minutes and then they get off.
Yeah.
Or they only stream for a little bit and then they get off. But when
Mm.
they're making money, they stay on
Yeah.
forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Money coming in.
Mm.
And I get it. It's easy to get caught up in the money.
Oh,
At
it
the end
is
of the
easy,
day,
yeah.
do what you can do to make money. But it's just don't think for 1 minute that you can try to either lie to yourself or the people around you about what you, because at the end of the day, people are going to know bullshit when
Yeah.
they might not know it today, they might not know it tomorrow, but it's eventually going to come out.
It's going to come up.
Everything
it's not going to
you've
smell
been
like roses
doing
anymore. It's going to smell like pure old bullshit. I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
Like I said, we've all had personal negative experiences with Twitch, which we're not going to dwell on because, like, we don't want to bring up dirt. But things happen on Twitch. It's not all rainbows and roses and chocolate and all that bullshit. There are some things. Some people will be shitty to you, and you might do some shitty things yourself. We're not all perfect. Nobody's perfect. But yeah, I think that's the best advice you got to give is like, what do you want from Twitch? Be 100% true to yourself. Do you want this to be just a hobby where you get to meet new people and game with, or do you want to make this a personal business? If you want this to be a business, then you better do your goddamn homework. You need to learn how to use OBS. You need to use how this, and also what you got. Do you have because Hershey is a console streamer, and I don't think that personally is a hindrance because I know everyone and I've said this before. I actually said this in a previous video. Is like people say, "Oh, I need to get a computer. I need to get this when I stream." Hold your horses. You need to see what you got right now. Stream with that because maybe streaming's not for you. You might go on there and think, "Oh, this is too hard." But if you spent thousands of dollars on all this equipment, new mic, camera, PC, and you think, "Oh, I don't really think this is for me," you got all this equipment that you're not going to use now. So I really strongly consider streaming on console. I think streaming on console is actually a good thing, and I know a lot of people who actually stream on console and do quite well for themselves. If you just got a camera or you got a good mic and you're playing a game and you're being interactive, you're already halfway there. You're being interactive with your people in there, and you got social media and you're doing right. Because I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, but I want to get all these things." You don't even need a computer now to have like alerts and stuff. You can just do there's widgets on Twitch that can do those things. Just do your research. But as a console streamer, like streaming on your PS4 and Xbox and stuff like that, and you're playing games and stuff like that. Do you feel sometimes like you wish you had a PC sometimes, or you're quite happy where you are right now, like with just console gaming and streaming?
There's moments where I want a PC, but ultimately the way I view it, my streams are not nearly at the level that I could justify getting. If I average, 15 to 20 viewers and had more input from the community and stuff like that, I would, but I'm good on console. At the end of the day, it's all I need. I don't worry too much. There are times, like you said, I feel bad about it, but I don't know. Console streaming it's a great way to get introduced to Twitch. If you can read your chat off of a fucking phone while you're playing a console game, then you'll be able to read chat off of a dual monitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely good preparation. I recommend to anybody who's starting up streaming or thinking about getting into streaming, do it from a console first. See how comfortable you feel with it. Mess around with it. If you do buy any sort of gear, buy a Kinect or buy a camera, buy a nice mic. But that's it. Don't don't be somebody who goes out and spends 12 to 2,500 or even up to
Mm.
5,000 on PC and gaming chair and all this other stuff just to eventually give up in 4 or 5 months.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
cover yourself and just make sure that you you focus on the main things when it comes to streaming in the beginning, which is
Yeah.
um, finding your comfort zones,
Mm.
knowing what games you enjoy playing on stream. Because there's a difference between games you enjoy playing offline and playing online.
Mm.
Like there's some games that I know that I like playing when I'm not streaming that I couldn't do when I'm on
Yeah.
stream because there's too much I have to focus.
Yeah, because you can't focus on
And
your
vice
chat and you're just delving into the game story or whatever. Yep, I get you.
versa.
Also,
So I think that.
no, you touched on that really well because also I noticed another thing like I've gone to people's streams who've got all the fancy gear, like they have like the fancy computer, the awesome alerts, all this stuff, but they have zero personality. And then I've come into someone who's just streaming off a console, like an Xbox or a PS4, and not even a camera, and they're just chatting away, and you're just involved in their conversation. So I feel that even if you have all that stuff, you might not be Twitch material. You gotta just work with it. Like just start up. You all start. I think that's the problem with society is that we all want to be up the top right now. We don't want to work our way up. We want to be up here. We want to be up here with the big boys. You know, and that's the problem. You do have to start somewhere, and you got to start down the bottom. That's where we all start from, and you got to gradually work your way up. Don't think, oh, I'll start at the bottom, but I'll be up the top by next week. No, you're going to be here for a little while. But if you want to be there for a little while and stay there, then be complacent. Don't do anything. Just do the same thing day in, day out if it's not getting you anywhere. But if you want to see yourself slowly creep up there, bit by bit, you say, okay, I've been streaming this and I've been doing this. It's not getting me anywhere. What do I need to change? Because I think that's the biggest mistake that people do is they don't change what they're doing, even though they don't see any changes or improvements in their streams. They'll be doing something like, well, I'm streaming Fortnite. Why aren't people coming to watch me? I only got no views. I got like one view, and it's the bot. What's going on? I've been doing this for 3 months. No one's watching me. And you go, well, okay. There's another 150,000, 250,000 people streaming the same game. Maybe that could be the problem. Okay, when you try a different game, maybe try a different time frame. Maybe start using social media. Maybe put something in your stream. Maybe like, okay, you got a console stream, but you can get alerts from Twitch to do stuff. Like people need to start thinking out of the box and start thinking for themselves and not expecting it all fall on their lap and people are going to give them all the information that they need to help them out to go up. I think that's not just only in Twitch, but in life too, isn't it? Like if you think about it, everyone wants everything handed to them now. We want it now. We're in this this consumerism where people want to just consume and not give back. It's like I want it all, give it all here, and I want to take it all in, and I want to prosper, and I want to be successful. Okay, so how are you going to give that back to people? But I just want it all for me. I want it all. So I got a feeling that people need to stop doing that and start thinking, well, I need to start working down the bottom and working my way up to the top eventually. But I need to see if then something's not working. How do I change? What do I change? You know, and I think that's where a lot of mistakes happen. And I see it like with you, Hirsch. You obviously get advice. People coming in the stream and saying, "Oh, look, I've been streaming this game for weeks. No one's coming in to watch me. What do you suggest I do?" What's your advice to someone? Let's just say I come up to you, Hirsch, and say, "Listen, Hirsch, I've been streaming for about 2 weeks and I got no views. What's the advice can you give me? What should I be doing, man?"
The advice I'd say first, like you said, are you posting on social media?
Mm.
The people that you're gaming with, do you tell them that you stream?
Mm.
If so, ask them to come up in there. Ask them to
Yeah.
tell their friends about
Yeah.
it. Market yourself. I think that's why I try to recommend Twitch to everybody because Twitch is a very great tool of teaching yourself. It's not just about the way other people are and the way that you market yourself business wise, but like just how to handle people genuinely. To understand that there's going to be people that are friends, there's going to be acquaintances, and there's going to be business partners, and there's never a mix between any of them.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
Can't be.
Yeah.
Because once there is a mix, that's when you see toxicity. That's when you see resentment. That's when you see jealousy, like you were talking about earlier. People saying, "Oh, well, you get this many views. I wish I could get that many views,"
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
Um, I just
Yeah. Those are good words because I do see a lot of that, like a lot of jealousy from other people and stuff. Whoa, we lost you, Hirsch. That's alright.
oh,
It's
two
okay.
seconds. Sorry.
No, you're right, man. It's all good.
Can you still hear me?
No, yeah, I can still hear you, dude. It's okay. uh, yep, you're all good, man.
Sorry.
No, you're right, man. But I just thought I might wrap this up with one more important question, right?
Mm.
I really appreciate the advice you've been giving and your thoughts on Twitch. It really means a lot to me, man. Right? I knew
Yeah.
it would be a good
Sorry for
conversation.
rambling a little bit.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no. Honest, no. Because I love your rambles because you don't just ramble nothing. You ramble what you feel and what you say, and I appreciate that. I really. That's why I wanted you in here first because I knew that with you comes passion. So
Mm.
and I know when I talk to you comes passion, and not only that, knowledge as well. Like you've been around, and this is what I feel about a lot of people when they say, "Okay, what are these guys talking about?" Like they don't get that, they don't garner the 100 views and stuff. Yeah, but we've been around. We've seen the do's and don'ts of Twitch. We've had our highs and lows. We've had a bunch of people come and watch us as well. So I like to think that we sort of got some sort of general knowledge of what we're doing. Um, but if you got any last words on what you want to say before I end this podcast, but just your own personal thoughts on Twitch and where would you maybe like to see Twitch maybe in the next year or so, or obviously any
Um,
advice?
where I'd like to see Twitch in a couple years from now, I want to see it a place where it actually caters a little bit more to the streamer.
Mm,
Um, I want to see some sort of whether it's an online or in-person community board or multiple boards that are
mm,
either streamers themselves or people who are part of Twitch that can integrate to where they can start coming up with different things to protect streamers,
mm,
things like harassment, sexual harassment, um, anything of that nature. I think we need to protect streamers a lot more, especially streamers who are either minority or female or
yeah.
both. In that case, I think we really need to focus on that because those are the groups right now who are feeling the most stress
They are getting a
when it
lot
comes to.
of slack. Like I said, this is getting out of hand with this sort of stuff. Um, I don't suffer that, thank God, because even though I'm exceptionally
Mm,
good looking and stuff like that, so's Hershey. We
I've,
don't get. I've
you too, my
seen,
dear.
yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes on how people talk to other people who are of a different color and also a different sex, and it's disgusting. It is really
Mm,
disgusting. Just because they're a young, pretty lady or from a different minority does not give you the goddamn right to talk to them like garbage or treat them like
or be an
rubbish
asshole in
or
general.
be a complete
Yeah.
asshole. And I am so sick of it. I really am sick of it. I am really tired of that rubbish and that mentality. But just because I'm behind a keyboard, I can say whatever I want, and it doesn't
Mm,
affect me, and I can just do whatever I want because I'm safe behind this keyboard. And I think Twitch really
mm-hmm.
needs to work on that. Like I've had trolls. Like I had a troll keep trolling me with my stupid names, and it did get to me here and there, but I completely ignored it, and eventually went away. But there's some
Mm-hmm.
people who haven't got a tougher skin or a thicker skin, and will get hurt. So, but yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Anyway, I'll let you finish. This, like I said,
Oh no, no, no. You're
no,
good, man. It's your podcast.
no. It's our podcast for today.
But I think what I will say and what I will end it on to my friends and to anybody who I don't know that is ultimately wanting the path for partner. Um, these are some of the things that you're gonna have to think about. One is how are you gonna get health benefits and insurance? How are you
mm,
gonna make sure that you cover your family? Because obviously, if you're doing a partnership, people are going to be relying on you on source of income if you're somebody who is in a family or is trying to
mm,
start one up. So that's something you got to think about. Number two, a lot of times, unless you're a really big content creator, Twitch will still take 50% of your proceeds. Don't forget about taxes. So not only is Twitch taking money out of your money, but federal and state, they're also taking money out of your
Mm.
money, and that leaves you with less money. So what are you doing to make sure that you are financially covered as well?
Mm.
And lastly, if you're pushing for partner, make sure that you sell yourself in the sense of what type of personality, what type of gamer or entertainer you are, and what you want. Don't sell yourself as in the person. Don't change or conform to your audience, or feel that just because you have a bunch of numbers and people who bring people in or people who sub or people who donate, don't ever feel like you have to cater to them first or initially, because time and money, as PS2 and I both know through our experiences, them motherfucking things come and go.
Mm-hmm. True.
Come and but you got to appreciate the things that do stick around, and you got to look to them, and you got to try to protect them. So protect your investment. And like I said, if you're, and lastly, if you are pushing for partner, make sure you have an extra outlet for content creation, whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok, whether it be whatever it may be,
Mm.
because for those reasons that I just stated earlier, the no benefits, the no insurance, the no nothing, on the taxes and Twitch taking money out,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be very very strict on how much money you generate
Mm.
and what you can do to wiggle around.
Mm.
So get an extra outlet to make sure that you are completely covered, to where your family doesn't have to worry if something happens, if a doctor disrespectful moment happens and
Mm.
that source of income comes out, you need something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And if Twitch doesn't want to protect us, and if the bigger streamers up there who say so much that they love us, smaller streamers don't want to protect us, we have to protect our.
Yeah. You got to watch it for your own investment. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are wise words, man. I'm going to end it there, but thank you so much for your time, Hershey. Um, Also, everyone who's, or if you are watching this pre-recorded podcast and you like what we've been talking about, and if you want to see more, please comment and like below. I'll put a link for Hershey Stains 815's Twitch channel. Please go give him a follow. Like I said, he was my first choice because he has a lot of knowledge. He's been around Twitch. You do not have to be a big. This is what I mean. You do not have to be a big streamer to know what you're talking about. Like everyone thinks, oh well, they're big, they're popular, but some people who've been around, sometimes they just have luck hit them, really easy, but also you got to be with people who have been around and seen other streams and see the do's and don'ts, and that's why I thought we'd just do this podcast between ourselves. But like I said, if you like the video, click a like and subscribe to PS2 Fat Boy on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch because I'm on there pretty much every night because I have no life. And same thing with Hershey. We have zero lives. But like I said, if you really like this video and you want to see more of these videos, please comment and like below. And me and Hershey would gladly do more of these. And we might even do like a live podcast as well, so you guys can have your thoughts and opinion. Want to ask us as questions on YouTube? I would like to do that, but I just thought I'd just do this as a trial run. But again, once again, Hershey, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
No, it was really good. It was a good chat.
And just to end up one quick thing, man. I love Twitch. Twitch has done a lot of great things for me. I know it's done a lot of great things for you.
Yeah.
So don't take any of the negative things we said tonight as being all of Twitch. Twitch is a great place. Just be mindful and don't accept bullshit and don't let people walk. That's all I got.
100%. I agree with that. And on that note, we're going to close the podcast. And if you enjoyed watching these videos, please click a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of this stuff, let us know in the comments below. Thank you, everyone.